you winning. Sunday nights at 10 p.m. All day every night just calling. Conversations with Coach La 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 La. Conversations with Coach La 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 La. If you got something on your mind, you can call in, you can hit a line. She the realest, ooh, she the realest. You can tap in, loud, oh, get a business to empower you, so that you can do every and anything that you want to. Kicking it with Coach L.A. It's time to listen to conversations that's gonna keep you winning. Sunday nights at 10 p.m. On the every need just calling. Conversations with Coach La 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 La. Coach La 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 La.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Coach La La La. Your favorite around the way therapist is in the building live on Urban Heat, Boston's only Black-owned radio station on the iHeartRadio platform. It's a beautiful Sunday. I hope y'all are doing good. We have had a busy weekend here in Boston. Shout out to everybody that had something to do with the Caribbean Carnival and Juve. And yeah, I actually was outside. Shout out to Mel E.B., the most powerful Mel E.B. She did her thing as the voice of the Caribbean Carnival this year. And it was just an amazing time just to be outside. Shout out to the Haitian community. You guys came through, the truck, the sound, the music. It was a beautiful experience. So y'all know I tell y'all, I've been definitely outside, and it's starting to definitely wind down. Summer is going down, and I have to admit, I love summertime, and I'm not very happy to know that the summertime is about to be over. So anyway, enough of me and my seasons. But yes, so you guys are tuned into episode, goodness, like, I don't know, 132, something like that. It's season 8. It's been 3 years that I have been doing this wonderful show, and you guys have been joining me on the virtual couch. And it's the power of the pivot. We've been talking about how to reset. That's tonight. We're going to be talking about how to reset in real time. And it's been something just to really sit with you guys and to talk about life, right? And how life's and things come about that really can throw you off, and get you where you're unsure of yourself and where your direction is and where you're going next. And we talk often about, not wanting to survive anymore. We just want to thrive. And so tonight's episode is really about that. Like, how do we take these stories of survival and connect it to our purpose? And how do we take these stories of survival and flip the script, right? And make them stories of thriving. Because guess what? Little do we all know, and something that we have probably got to come to understand is life is going to life. Regardless if you're a good person, bad person, perfect person, do everything right, something's going to come along and throw you off, right? So season 8, Power of the Pivot, the rise, the reclaim, and the reinvention of yourself, creating your legacy in real time. And so tonight I have a very special guest that is going to be joining me. Now, I met her through a event that she did for Black men during Black Men's Mental Wellness Month. And we got a chance to talk to find out we were both cancers. And when cancers start cancering, it's a whole kind of different vibe. And she's an entrepreneur. She's a yoga instructor, and she's also an early education provider. She's a serial mompreneur, and she is a third-generation Honduran American. She incorporates all, if not most of what she does is incorporated with her Afro-Latina culture. And she is the co-host, there's 2 other hosts, of Pandagasms, which she specifically, her vision is to highlight the talent in this city, especially in Boston, and also to bring awareness to her community with stimulating conversation. So tonight we're going to learn a little bit more about her story. She's going to help set the stage. She said to me tonight, how did you come up with this topic? And are you like in my life? Are you like reading me? It's like when you go to church, right? And you come and you sit down and the pastor starts talking, you go, how did he know that is what I was going through? So I am going to bring my lovely guest on camera, and I want to introduce you to Miss Amanda. Some people call her Amanda Panda. I think it's dope because she's a yoga instructor, and she does these cool things with her body. So welcome to Conversations with Coach La.
Thank you for having me.
You look good, girl. You look good.
Thank you.
If there was a neighbor, I would say turn to your neighbor and tell your neighbor you look good. You know, you look good. I'm glad to have you here. I had a pleasure of sitting on your couch, literally her couch, and
orange couch.
We talked about a lot of things that night. But I was telling you, I said your bio was very, very to the point and vague. You didn't give me your life story like some people do. Like they give me their whole trauma story, survival story, what they've been through, their adversity, how they were resilient, how they bounced back. But you kept it very brief and to the point, which I loved. So that brings me to really asking you the question I ask everybody. Mm-hmm. Who is Amanda? Right? You didn't even give me your last name, girl.
I know.
She was like, oh, I didn't. She's like, I forgot.
I was like, that wasn't even intentional. You asked, she was like, was that intentional? No.
I'm like, maybe she don't want nobody to know who she is, right? So, you know, because the whole government, you can do things with it. So I want to know who Amanda is. And like I was telling you, this whole series, this part of the series is about the power of the pivot, right? So yeah. Who's Amanda? And tell us, do you have a pivot story? I don't even know.
I feel like the last 10 years has probably been a pivot in my life. And just listening to you reread my bio back, I goofed. I'm not third generation. I'm first generation Honduran American. And I'm extremely proud about that. Putting Honduras on the map, keeping us there because, you know, I just love my people. But who is Amanda Allen? And that question always makes me
There go her last name, y'all.
Yes, now Amanda Soca Panda Allen. A lot of people, they know me as Amanda Panda, Soca Panda. Depending on what part of my life you met me in, you have a different name for me. And that's where I know you from, depending on what you call me.
Yeah.
But I'm first generation Honduran American, Afro-Latina, serial mompreneur.
Yes.
So I'm doing a lot, and this has been a huge pivot. Being a parent is a pivot in itself. I'm a preacher's kid.
Really?
Yeah, my mom's a minister.
Oh, wow.
I get that a lot. Like, you're what? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but I can see that, though, because you're very opinionated. You got an opinion about everything.
I absolutely do. And this is why. And I got in trouble a lot for that. I just told my daughter that. Like, my mouth got me in trouble all the time. Mm-hmm. It still does. Mm-hmm. I start to speak and people are like, I didn't want to hear that. Mm-hmm. So usually I stay quiet. You know? That's why my bio was kind of short.
Well, I did kind of put you on the spot.
You did. And that's okay.
What I found from a lot of the guests that I have, sometimes, because I talk to everybody, I just like talking to people, right? That's been my thing since I can remember. Hi, my name's Lakeisha. Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you. What's your name? So that's always been me. So not everybody writes their bio, has a bio. And I was surprised. Like, given that you're a podcast host, I just figured that was going to be like easy breezy cover girl. And you was like,
I was struggling.
He was like, I don't even know what to write. I was like, oh, wow.
I told you that. And so I'm
this
extremely
is a good
shy.
Thing. So now you have a bio.
Yes, now I have a bio. I've always had a bio. It's hard for me to write about me. People don't think I'm shy, but I really am. You could probably see me in my happy place if we're in a party or something. That's my safe space where you'll see me. You'll see Amanda. But I'm pretty shy. So the bio was hard. I really sat down and thought about it. It's one of the main reasons I didn't go back to school because I don't like papers. They'll tell me to write a paper and I freeze, clouded. But put me in front of a microphone to talk or in front of people I can speak. Okay. But the writing.
So a shy person who still loves to be in front of the microphone.
Yeah.
That's ironic.
I know. It's crazy.
All right. This is going way off of topic. Real quick, is. Right? Because first of all, this idea of shyness, right? Like, first of all, where does that come from, right? Because we're thinking about narratives and we give ourselves these labels, but like, what does that even mean to be shy? Because you don't fit any of that, right? Like,
I think I do, depending on where I am and who I'm with. So for me, I guess this level of shyness came just from how I was raised. Children were to be seen and not heard.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm
I
glad
was-
you said that,
I
right?
was
So
very
it's
much, and then I'm the last one. I'm the last girl, so
yeah.
I was very sheltered. You just did what you were told, and you was quiet.
Yes. So that may mean that you're not really shy. That's a product of your environment
Yeah.
and being, as they say, raised up.
Right, raised up in that way. And then, I'm a Cancer, so when I don't feel safe, I go back in my shell.
Yeah,
And I'll stay
yeah,
there till I'm
okay.
ready to come out.
Yep. All not meaning that you're shy, though. That means that you're strategic.
A little bit of everything.
You're
A little bit of
strategic.
everything. Yes,
Right.
I would like to say I am strategic.
But the idea when I say shy, I feel like those shy people, and this is just my opinion, struggle with having a voice, and they're kind of more of off to the side and don't know how.
It takes a while for me to say what I have to say.
Oh, really?
Because I know the kickback I'm going to get.
Okay. All right.
So again, it is strategy.
Yeah.
Because I already know what it's going to look like. And 9 times out of 10, I'm usually right.
Yeah.
So I just won't say anything.
Well, that's insightful too. That means that you're actually reading the room and thinking about it. Now, again, totally off topic for a second here. Sometimes we can be so in our heads, right? And we think about the whole idea of this whole series is about being able to rise. And sometimes we have to rise above these, how you were raised up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the cultural norms and belief systems that we've been taught sometimes can stifle us and stop us from really living in this thriving life, So how have you broke through that to be able to, use it strategically, because you're still
extremely challenging. My whole entrepreneurship journey has been extremely challenging. One of my struggles in life is asking for help. And as an entrepreneur, you can do it, but it just makes the journey harder. So I've definitely had to humble myself and ask people for help. Like, hey, can you help me do this? Or is it possible? So that was a huge pivot for me, something that I had to learn on this journey of entrepreneurship. I don't like it, but I still have to do it.
Talk about the help thing. Well, shout out to everybody. I see y'all clocking in on Instagram. See y'all on there. I think I see Daniel. What's going on, D? Hey. DL, I see you. He actually wrote, you guys listen to the version on podcast. That version, the rap version, is from DL. So DL did his thing on Coach La's rapped version of her intro. So yeah, being able to pivot from things in terms of what you've been told you are. So did someone say you're shy?
Oh, no, I put that on myself.
Okay, you put it on yourself.
Yeah, that was a me thing.
That was you thing.
Yeah,
when do you first recall you saying to yourself, I'm shy?
Like when I get around spaces and people are like, well, how come you're not talking to anyone? I'm not comfortable yet.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you think that was when you were a child? Did you start to notice it more as an adult?
As an adult.
Yeah.
Because as a child, I really didn't talk to people much.
Yeah, I think you're reading the room. I think you're trying to figure out your angle, but I'll let you live with it, that you shy.
As of now that in my adulthood and when I take time to reflect, I am reading the room now. Before I didn't care. I would come in and I would just be me. Right. Not everybody responds well to that. And that really shouldn't be my problem, but
that's called learning though, right?
I just don't feel like dealing with it.
Yeah, but that's called learning too. Learning whether or not, I want to be vulnerable.
Right. And then now I know
my thoughts
where my spaces are, where I know I can be me.
How did you figure that out?
Boy, oh boy. I'm still figuring that out.
Because I'm saying, right, like that trying to find your tribe, your spaces,
still figuring that out.
Involved with that,
it is a lot of risk.
You don't know until you know.
Yep. And then as soon as I start to feel like I may possibly know, I get overwhelmed and I remove myself. If it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, but I don't do well with too much things going on. I'll definitely retract.
So I don't know if that's avoidance, right?
It definitely is.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. So you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable.
No.
So how do you grow?
It takes time. Again, depends on who it is. Some people I can be 100% transparent and vulnerable with, and I'll do that with. I have like 2 people that I feel like I can do that with.
Okay.
And then
but taking it back to entrepreneurship though, because not every space necessarily is our space. We got to kind of sometimes come in and pull up a chair and create our own table. So there's not always safety and, sometimes we got to say we need to say even when folks ain't going to like it. So I mean, how do you, and asking for help, right? That's uncomfortable.
So with that, I usually get feedback from other entrepreneurs or my therapist. I'll speak to people that have been doing it longer than me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a baby in this. My 9 to 5, I started about 8 to 10 years ago. So I'm still new at this.
So you're 9 to 5. So let's in
my early ed.
Right.
I have a home,
which is also entrepreneurship. She's
Right.
saying 9 to 5, but she still works for herself.
I work for myself. I have
Even
a home
in that.
daycare, and I reach out to people that are in the field. My sister-in-law, she's a huge mentor for me. My neighbor, she's been in the business for 20 years. So when it comes to different fields of my entrepreneurship with the kids or with yoga, I have people, different entrepreneurs that I can go to for assistance and support, because a lot of people that are not entrepreneurs do not understand what we go through.
Yeah, you can say that again.
They don't. Even now with my expansion, I'm so proud of myself in this moment. I've expanded my daycare from 6 kids to 10. My license expanded. And with growth comes with having to hire people. I've never had to do that before. That was all new for me. Interviewing and being on the other side. Like, I've been an interviewee, but I wasn't the interviewer.
Right.
So this part of it was all new for me. I joined a entrepreneurship group called E4All. Shout out to E4All.
I saw that online.
Yep. And I did that cohort with them. It was amazing. And I learned a lot from that program. And one of my mentors, she is an HR rep. So when I'm struggling with these things, I'll go to her and I'm like, hey, I need help with this. I don't know what to do. I'm about to have my first staff meeting and I'm panicking.
Right.
Not even going to lie. I'm panicking, losing my mind. Feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole. So I'll take my ashwagandha, do some affirmations and be like, oh, you got this. This is what you asked for. And everything that you are afraid of, whatever it is you want to say, or this is what you've asked for. So you got to get past the fear to get past the goal you've set for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's how I usually get through my pivots. I'll sit and speak with people who are in the same journey that I'm in, who are successful in the journey that I'm in, whether it's business, whether it's working with children. I just talk to those people.
There's an old adage that says, once the student shows up, the teacher will appear. And also anything you want to learn, right, is to find people who are doing it or know how to do it, ask them how they've done it, and to actually mimic and or do what they say. So I think you're sort of speaking to that. Sometimes we can make certain things so much more harder for ourselves than it really is, just by being willing to be coachable, being open to learn, and also just willing to say what you don't know. Sometimes, that's the first step. So when we think about, I have a question for you. Let me just ask it the way I want to ask, right? What is resetting in entrepreneurship look like for you? Like,
so that is exactly where I am right now. I am resetting. I have cut back on everything. I'm not doing any yoga classes right now unless it's to sub for another teacher. The podcast, we will stop recording at the end of September until March. And I'm just pouring back into me because I feel like I've gone so hard in everything consistently. I mean, I was going hard. I was on autopilot. I even had to have a conversation with my kids like, yo, mommy's about to go real hard. We're not going to have those dates right now for a little bit. We're going to have 6 months, maybe 9 months, maybe even a year that we might not have our one-on-one dates. But I need to make these sacrifices to get to these end goals. So we had those conversations and they rode that wave with me. So now that that's all done, all my pouring into my businesses and making sure they were at where I wanted them to be so I can be comfortable with that. Now I'm pouring back into myself. So everything it's just plateaued. It's not done. I'm just taking a break from those things. I'm going back into my working out. I have my morning routine going again. Going to bed at 8. I know I'm here way past my bedtime, but I'm going back to sleep at 8 o'clock. I'm waking up between 4:30, 5 o'clock, doing my affirmations, my journaling, my praying. My phone is going back on Do Not Disturb from 8 o'clock till 6 in the morning because there's nothing you could tell me at this time of the night that I can help you with. You need to call Jesus or 911. I can't do anything. You feel me?
Try Jesus, not
Yeah,
me.
don't call me. I can't help you. My children are home. You remember when we was kids and you saw the 10? It's 10 o'clock.
Right.
Do you know where your kids are? My kids are home. Don't call me.
And back in the day, we didn't have cell phones.
We didn't have
we
cell
didn't have
phones.
this type of access to
Yeah.
us.
So
You know, your phone, you wasn't calling people's house
You
after
weren't.
that. And if you did, their mama was answering.
yeah.
And she was like, you know what time it is?
Listen, my
You don't
mother
Mhm.
used to take the phone with her to work.
Jeez.
We wasn't talking to nobody on that phone. She took it to work and dared us
Yeah.
to try.
Oh yeah, your mom was on a whole nother level.
She didn't play that.
So I think, a lot of this reclaiming time, space, and
Mhm.
just pausing, right,
Yeah.
is a lot of the reset, right? Sometimes we're just going. I'm too in a similar space of being mindful of how important my presence and my time is, and being selective on where I'm spending it. Like, time is currency, right? Your energy is currency. So how are you utilizing that? Because you will get burnt out.
Oh, I am. That's why I've stopped doing
You will
everything.
get burnt
I am.
out.
The last live I did for my podcast, I expressed that to the audience. I said, I'm taking a break. It's not that I'm gone. I'm not leaving forever. I just need a reset so I can come back better. I'm tired. I told them, I said, I'm tired. Like, I'm not me in this moment. And I want to get back to me. So
Well, that brings us to my next segment, guys. Y'all already know what it is, right? Which is, what does therapy mean to you?
it is so funny because
you have a therapist.
I do, and I love her so much. And we talked about this on my podcast. Therapy means the choice to want to grow.
Talk about it.
Because for me, you could say all day long, I'm going to do therapy. I'm going to try therapy. I'm going to try therapy. But did you go?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I honestly believe that the first step is actually going. Saying it is fantastic, wonderful. But doing it is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can say anything all day long, left, right, up, down, and center. But are you going to do it? So therapy for me means self-accountability, because once you are into therapy and you understand what it is, and if you're being 100% truthful, vulnerable with your therapist, you may be able to get the support and the assistance that you're looking for, depending on what your goal is.
Yeah.
The first time I started therapy, I shared that with you. I was trying to figure out what I was doing wrong as a parent with my first kid, And then after that episode, and I went home and I was like, what did I want out of that therapy session? Because up till today, I still didn't know what I wanted. And I reflected and I was like, I just wanted to figure out how to connect with my son.
Mm.
So for me now, therapy is a choice for you to be more accountable for your own behaviors. Are you going to sit down and reflect on the things that you can do better at? None of us are perfect. Are you going to sit down and say, my God, my goodness, I didn't say this properly to this person, or maybe I could have treated this person differently.
Mm.
How can I do better tomorrow?
Right.
Because to me, in my head, it's always me versus me. So for me with therapy, it helps you with that battle of you fighting yourself. There's a lot of things.
To agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm still unlearning. And there's still things I am learning, because if you're not learning, you're dead. You feel me? So I'm never in a space where I don't want to learn. I know there's a lot of things I need to fix, from being raised one way and just everything. So therapy for me is that choice to want to be a better version of yourself.
I think you nailed it. There's some things that just don't need to be reiterated, but I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I think, when you're ready to come to therapy, you are in a space of sort of really wanting to do a deep dive and self-reflect.
Yeah.
And you also are open to sort of different perspectives, but you kind of know that already. Like, when you come, you're already usually in a space of like, something's not working, something ain't making sense, I don't really know what it is, I feel off, things are not going the way I want them to go. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, so what am I going to do? And what I find is that most times people know what they want to do. Even when they tell me they don't, they kind of do. They just don't want to say it out loud, because once you say it out loud, you sort of make it real, right? You actually really name it. When you name a feeling, you name a situation, it's like, okay, I can't really hide from this anymore. But if you stay in denial, you can be like, I don't really know. I don't really know what it is. I don't really know. I don't know. But if you don't know, then who's going to know?
Yeah. And honestly, in the beginning, prior to starting therapy, I thought it was going to be like I'll walk in with all these questions and they're just going to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, was that a rude awakening for me. Because I thought with therapy I'd be able to just get my questions answered, because I didn't have there's just things I can't talk about with certain people. And so for me, it's like, all right, I'm going to just pay this person, or I have health insurance, so they're going to get paid, HIPAA laws. I don't have to worry about the judgment. And if I do, I'm not going to hear it.
Right.
You sit down with your friends or your family or whatever, you see the face, you see the body shift, and it's just like, I don't, you don't know if that vulnerable moment is going to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So therapy for me is a safe space, because I'm not going to sue you if I hear anything, Yeah, I'm suing you. And I have a really good friend, and I said to her one day, this was years ago, I said, when you're going through things, who do you talk to? We were younger. And she said, you know what? My dad said to me, if you can't keep your secret, what make you think somebody else will?
Now
that was
bold.
It for me.
That's bold.
That was it for me. That was it. If I let you know anything, I don't care anymore.
Well, I think Sarah Jakes Roberts said that when you are going through something, right, that's not when you want to talk about it. You want to talk about it once you've healed from it, right? Because then you're able to process it and you're in a better space. Often, like when folks get on social media, different places, they're like using it as their diary. They're not really over it yet.
No.
You're bleeding all over the place. You really don't know what you feel yet. You might change your mind tomorrow. You feel one way. You feel like, think about Cash Doll. 1 minute she's like, I'm not what Zari is.
I'm not a huge fan of external validation.
Yeah.
So, or, outside distractions. So something is, like you said, a lot of us already know what we want and what we don't want. So I don't need or want the outside noise. I need to stay focused on what's in front of me, because no one knows you better than you. So you're going to sit here and ask somebody something. Why? You just want them to say what you already have in mind, like,
or you want to hear what you want to hear.
Or you want to hear what you want to hear.
And I think, there's a concept called confirmation bias, but also we have selective. We give the information the way we want to give it to sometimes extract the answers that we want. And I think going to therapy, I think it allows you to be completely transparent and vulnerable with the truth, your truth.
Yeah.
But when you're talking to people who know you, they have a side of the story too.
Exactly.
So typically,
and now they want to input.
It may or may not be the same. Yeah, that's very true.
I didn't ask you.
So we talked about burnout and the reason why you're resetting and pivoting at this moment, because you said you actually were burnt out.
I am right now in this moment.
Did you know that 80% of entrepreneurs experience burnout at least once in their journey?
I did, and I found that out after the burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So burnout for you, what's that look like?
I'm exhausted. Like, I don't want to hang out with my friends, and that's not me. I love being in social atmospheres. They'll come and I'm like, I'm in bed. I'm going to sleep. I ain't doing this. I don't got the capacity. I'm very verbal. I'll communicate it, and then, or, I'm the social butterfly. So I'll make plans, and then the day comes and I'm like, I ain't coming. I need to sleep. So for me,
more sleeping,
the disengagement, the disconnecting, that's just not me. So, and even if I do go to social events and if I'm quiet, that's not me. So it's just, sometimes now I'm just showing up because that's who I am. I don't want to let people down, but if I had the choice, I wouldn't leave my house.
What do you think would lead up to it? When did you notice?
What are we in August? Maybe January? February?
So it's January.
It's been months.
It's been months.
So I just had to figure out how I had to do it.
So I
had to figure out how I was going to get my rest.
Right. Now, interesting.
I was strategic.
Right. But resting, right? Because that's something that comes up a lot. How do you think we get there where we're not resting? So when you say get your rest, because you created all this, similar to me. Like, we put all this stuff on our plate when we become entrepreneurs.
And I said this to myself. I said, baby girl, you said you wanted to eat. You eating. Now you have to find time to rest. You have to be intentional with that. This household community where they got, I'm going to sleep when I dead. Nah, I'm not going to sleep when I die. I'm not. I'm going to sleep now while I'm alive, because this is the one life I'm given, and I want to enjoy it. I love life, and I want to enjoy this life. So now that I'm too tired to enjoy life, I need to Take a step back from everything that's not allowing me. Well, it's me not allowing it because I've set myself up for this, right? But so now that I've done this, I'm going to remove those things. I set myself up for this exhaustion. Now I'm going to set myself up for some rest. And when I go back into everything, I'll be better at it. So it's the time management is more planned out and I won't feel this way.
So it's interesting because as an entrepreneur, we are wearing all the hats, all the hats,
all day.
HR,
nurse,
financial, CFO, CEO,
the secretary,
trainer, development,
payroll.
We do everything,
all of
right?
It.
Marketing, promotion, social media.
So
content.
Thankfully, that part I don't have to do. I do have my social media manager. She is my best friend, and shout outs to her. To share, I don't know where I would be if you and I run in my social media, because the way I do not like social media, the way I do not like editing content because my fingers are fat, and then those apps, I'm like, I don't like it. So Thankfully, I have someone that I can depend on. I don't have to micromanage. I give her my vision and she works. I love that. I don't have to check her work, even though I should. Sometimes she's like, you didn't even look. No, I trust you. Like, that's how good of a job she does that I can breathe.
Good. And delegation is huge.
It is huge.
It is. And trusting. It's great that you have somebody you can trust.
Yeah.
Because social media and content becomes like an extension of your voice. So, finding someone who can do your social media and it still sounds like you is a blessing.
It is.
So we talked a lot about, and you mentioned, from journaling, working out, your affirmations. And one of my favorite things is affirmations, right? And I call them my bet on self affirmations, my boss up affirmations. We both talked about how those are really important. And I feel like those have been my anchors to remind myself to rest, that I'm deserving of rest. And that rest is part of what makes me effective and productive. So these can be spoken either cerebrally in your mind, or you can get in the mirror and say them out loud. I particularly like doing the mirror and saying them out loud personally, but everybody's different. I've also recorded mine and I play them back, right? So I can hear them when I'm not necessarily in the space to remember. I say it when I was most convicted, and then I can play them back. It's an app called Think Up that I use for that. How have affirmations, and do you have any that you can share that are your go-to?
That are my go-to. I just tell myself I deserve all the good things since I worked hard for it. Like, whatever that goal is, you deserve this wonderful bowl of macaroni and cheese because you worked all week. I'm just throwing something random out there, but whatever it is, when I get up those rough days that it's hard to wake up, you deserve to be healthy. You deserve to have a fit life. You deserve. Like the thing, whatever it is that I'm working on. When I'm tired and I can't go to the gym, you deserve to be strong. You deserve. So
shout out to Miss Opal. We see you, lady. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Miss Opal.
But yeah, those are the affirmations I tell myself. Depending on the situation, I'll just throw them out there. Like, you deserve to be financially wealthy. You deserve.
So they're not just words. I mean, I feel like they are, again, mantras. They are your reset button. Those are often the moments where you realize, okay, you know what? I'm exhausted. I deserve to rest. Rest is what's going to allow me to do what I need to do. So I'm going to take this moment and I'm going to pause.
Yeah.
And every time you repeat them, you're betting on you and they're worth your investment. I think. Yeah. How do you grapple with resting in failure?
So for me, I don't believe in failure. I think as long as you tried, you can't fail. So if I don't try, then that's the only way I failed. And with rest, because I'm making all these efforts and all this trying, I deserve to rest because I've tried. I'm making sure, I do the work so that.
Well, one of the hardest things for people to do with the pivot and the reset is that sometimes that feels like a failure. It feels like something didn't work, right?
Absolutely. I definitely have moments of feeling defeated. Like,
why can't I do all these things and be all things to all people and be at every event? Like, I have sisters that are like, listen, you just said you were tired. You need to have several seats. And I had a constant thought in my mind. I have to show up. I want people to show up. I have to show up, right? And when you are showing up at everything, because you don't want to disappoint people, you want to be supportive. Like, I love supporting.
Me too.
But you can do that until exhaustion too. Not to mention financially supporting everybody, showing up physically. I think about some of our politicians. I recently said this to Julie Mejia. She's everywhere, every event, everything. She's showing up. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes. Like, I don't even it's overwhelming, right? But that's part of being a politician. But at the same time, you got to be able to pause.
Yeah,
and then something's going to get a no.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And I think when you're in that space of, when I say no to this, I'm saying yes to something for myself.
For me. Mm-hmm.
And I think that is one of the grapples with, is that disappointment is part of life. People are going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And we're going to be okay. There might be times where I'm like, hey, I can't make your event. I love you, but I can't be there. And someone could be really upset at me for that, right? Like, that I didn't come. And I have to sit with that and be okay with that. Somebody's going to get a no.
Yeah.
Something's going to get a no.
I have no problem saying no, though.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I know when I'm not going to be able to fulfill my duty as whatever it is I need to show up as. But the thing about me, I enjoy social atmospheres. They actually fill me back up. So when I do feel drained and tired, I'm like, I need to be outside.
Right. So why did it take so long? And why is the reset look like stopping things that you enjoy doing?
Because it was more for me. It wasn't, how can I say? Because I was just doing everything. I was doing it all kind of sort of ish by myself, I guess you can say.
So the reset is more so to get some more support and to figure out what support you need.
Yeah, it's the reset. It's the start over to see how I can avoid being this burnt out next time. Because the things that I do, the yoga, the daycare, the podcasting, everyone, there is a team for those things. And people did have jobs to do. And when people don't do their part, you end up having to pick up doing their parts.
Let's talk about it. We get into the
so now you're doing your part and you're doing their part.
Right.
So you're doing double the work.
Right.
So it wasn't necessarily that I didn't make the attempt to get the support I needed so that I wouldn't be burnt out. But it didn't turn out that way. And so now I had to make this pivot. That's where the pivot came in. I
totally know what you're talking about.
I did my part thinking. I was doing the right thing on delegating tasks, having the conversation to make sure this is a task you're okay doing.
Yeah.
And when people don't do what they say they're going to do, and when you're the boss, you have to do it because it has to get done. It's yours.
Yes.
And because it's my baby, I know I have to do it.
Yes. And I think this is the part of entrepreneurship that often doesn't get talked about, right? It can be glamorized and like, it's great to work for yourself. I don't want to work for anybody else. I don't want anybody
it's beautiful
to tell me what to do. And I want to set my own schedule. And it's like all these things are highlighted.
Fantastic.
But with that becomes
the back end.
It comes so much other responsibilities to managing yourself. Oh, employees are no joke, right?
It's not.
You're training and you're developing people, and
it's not,
like you just said, just like right now when I used to work for other people and you have sick days, right? Granted, you have the sick days, but when you call out sick and they still pay you, the work still needs to be done, even if you don't come to work. And I think becoming an entrepreneur, I think really puts things in perspective, I think, of appreciating employment and appreciating a job. I think everybody should attempt to have some kind of side hustle so you can understand.
So you can understand how to be a good person towards other people.
Yes, because it's just different. It's very different having staff you're responsible for, that you're training and you're supervising. And a lot of people do treat everything just like a job. So it's like, I don't feel like going today. I don't want to do it.
And then when they do show up, it's like they don't even want to be there. It's like, you're not benefiting me or yourself.
But we want work. We want to work though.
No, they just want money. They don't want to work.
I didn't want to say it. You did.
I can absolutely say it. People don't want to work. They just want the money, which is fine because I get it. I don't want to work either. That's why I'm busting my tail so hard so I can retire sooner than later because I refuse to be working at 72 like the government wants us to. That's crazy. So having being an entrepreneur and having staff is not a walk in the park.
No.
Because I've definitely had someone text me the day of and they're like, I can't do it anymore. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, entrepreneurship definitely made me reflect on who I was as an employee. Because I've definitely did no calls, no shows. I've definitely went to pick up my check and was like, I'm not coming back. I've definitely been that employee. So I can't even get mad when people do it to me like, girl, you didn't think you was going to be here.
No,
did you?
Yeah,
you didn't think you was ever going to be in this position. You know?
Like right before you're supposed to be there.
Like right before. Like you're supposed to be here at 8 and you're texting me at 7:25.
I'm telling you, working for yourself, you don't have anybody over you and telling you have to come in, telling you what to do. It's different. And you have to be self-disciplined.
I was about to go there because when those emotions, because we are human at the beginning of the day, forget the end. Mm-hmm. At the beginning of the day, we're still human beings. And you have feelings, you have emotions, you get upset, you get irritated. You want to tell people how they could go, where they could go, and how they could get there. But you can't.
Yes. You have to take several
That
breaths.
level of professionalism that must be maintained at all times is also exhausting emotionally. Because if I'm being fully transparent, I can definitely be a walking crash out. But my businesses keep me in line.
Thank you.
I swear they do.
I love that you're saying this. Because I think
gratitude. And I tell my kids this all the time. I'm so grateful for the career path that I've chosen because it keeps me in line. I do not want to go to jail because of the response I would like to give to people for the things that they have either said or done. So it keeps me in check.
Yeah.
Having these businesses keep me in check. It keeps me out of jail. It keeps my friends having to get bail money. It keeps my kids having to feel ashamed. Like, Ma, you couldn't keep it together, you know? So my business is really.
Yeah, it gives you a purpose. So when we think about your why, right? And understanding, and I say this with my clients who have jobs that they're, burnt out or at their wit's end is, why is this job important? And I think sometimes we lose sight that it pays for your livelihood. It pays for your lifestyle. It is putting things in place for your wealth for future, generations. So sometimes you got to remember why you're doing what you're doing to keep yourself in check.
I definitely
right. Versus the cognitive dissonance that we can have with everything. So one of the biggest things with pivoting is to put things in perspective and to understand your why, right? And I think when we talk about resetting, sometimes the reset is the reframe, right? Is to look at things from a different perspective so that you're not going to crash out. So you're not going to be stressed and so that you can rest. Because I think we have to learn how to do these things simultaneously. So that way we don't have to shut everything down.
To find that balance again.
To get the balance, right?
That's where I'm at. I'm shutting everything down.
Well, not really, right? Because you still got to run your your childcare facility. That's not getting shut down.
It's not getting shut down.
It's the extracurriculums that you're shutting down, not your primary source.
Right. Not the primary source. That's my bread and butter. That's my baby right there.
And you still was at Juve with talking about you needed a whole break.
That's my refill.
Right.
Juve was my refill.
So I think one of the things I hope people are taking away from this conversation is the strategy behind it. It's strategic. We say reset, but that doesn't mean shut all the way down. Right. That doesn't mean avoid everything. That means take a minute, step back, look at the territory and go, okay, what are the things that I must do? What are the things that require my energy? And what are the things that I can just put on a pause for a second? Because you didn't say I'm stopping my podcast.
No, I'm not.
You just said I'm taking a pause.
Taking a break.
Taking a little break. I love that for us. So one of the affirmations that I love on how this whole bet on self framework works is that the B is for believing. So I think that, believing that you are worthy and you are enough and that you can rest and your whole world isn't going to crash out if you just take a pause. Because I take a pause. People been laughing about this whole season thing, but I do 15 episodes and I take a break.
Hey,
I've been doing that since I started. I take like 2 or 3 weeks break. Those that probably noticed, I've been outside all of July. I did things that I enjoyed all July. I was outside celebrating my birthday
celebrating
month.
Life.
And I was very intentional about doing that and spending those couple of weeks, spending time with family, doing things that I loved. That was AKA my reset real time. Everybody watched it and stuff was still happening, right? I also am having a financial reset, which is a complete nightmare. But I'm resetting, having to accept that I cannot do all things.
Yeah.
Needing to make sure I have a bookkeeper and all these things that I thought I could just do myself, which was a hard piece of humble pie to eat. Also looking at my time and which events that I'll do and which ones I won't. And when I sat down and realized that I literally have 2 or 3 events every month into the end of the year. And I'm like, how did that happen?
Right.
How did that happen? And I'm just like, oh, you're just like, oh, this is a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity. Yes. And I'm like, now that I've written it out, which was one of the other things, is write it down, people.
Yes.
Seeing it on paper,
it's huge.
Really puts things in perspective.
Yeah, it does.
I was able to say, you know what? This is good. This is enough. I don't need to do anything else unless it's really a great opportunity. Because that's the other thing. Sometimes you have to say no to good opportunities to allow the great opportunities to show up. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what's on my mind.
And you know what I wanted to say too, to add to that, during your entrepreneurship journey, your why changes. Because in the beginning, my why of not crashing out would have been my kids, but now that they're older and know what I look like,
yeah,
they'll be all right. If I had to crash out and go to jail, they'll be all right. I don't want to go there.
Listen, doing this going to jail thing, can we not speak that into the universe?
We're not speaking that into nothing.
She's not.
It's just how my thought process of staying out of trouble.
Yes, she don't.
I don't want to go
y'all.
in there. There's no macaroni in there.
Yeah, girl. Yes, there are. Yes, there
not
is.
The one I want.
Listen, but I understand what you mean. I recently said to someone, being a therapist is a lot of responsibility.
Yes, it is.
And sometimes I wish that I could go back to being a diduntina and I could go back to just saying, I don't know and I'm unaware. Because with growth comes awareness. And you can't do the things you used to do.
No, you can't.
And not feel it all in your body. You know when it doesn't feel right and when it's not okay.
Yep.
And I feel it in my gut. I feel it in my head. And I can't be boo-boo fool. I can't just be stuck on stupid because I know better.
Yep.
Right. And I would love sometimes I just be wishing. I was like, dang, you didn't know you could be in la la land, no pun intended. Right. But I can't be in la la land.
Right.
I literally I don't have to. I could crash out, but I know better.
I like being in the Lulu land sometimes.
But yeah, because it's like The Matrix. You saw that movie,
it's wonderful.
Right? I want to put the cord back in the back of my head and just be like, I don't know.
Once I started therapy seriously and I did start becoming more aware of things, I said that to one of my friends. I was like, I feel like I'm going crazy. She's like, no, you're just becoming more aware. And I was like, oh my goodness.
The awareness is like,
it's exhausting.
It's like you put on a pair of glasses and you see everything.
Because you start looking around and you're like,
wow.
For real?
Yeah.
You're disgusted.
And you also, this is where I said you're being strategic, where you said it's being shy. Everything that you see and everything that happens, you learn you don't have to speak on everything. Everything is not meant for you to address.
You don't have to say everything.
And I think that right there, when you've been raised to like not let people play in your face or to speak up for yourself, you avoid a lot of drama, minding your business and staying out the way. And sometimes that's just totally opposite of how you've been raised. Like you don't let nobody just run all over you. You got to handle it. And I think for a lot of our young people, that's part of why a lot of the violence industry happens is that you feel like you need to address it. You don't want to be a punk. Right? You don't want to let nobody disrespect you. And so you ready to, go and handle your business, get revenge, and then you in jail.
And then what? Exactly. You didn't think this through.
Right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't entertain negativity. I do my best not to anyway. I'm human sometimes.
But it comes to you.
But it does. It does come its way. So when I see it coming,
yeah,
I'm like, I already know what this looks like.
Right.
I already know what you're trying to do.
And the crash out is normally because you want the person to know they can't play with you.
No, the crash out usually comes when they keep playing with me. And
well, do you even tell them, or are you being shy?
It depends.
Because see, the thing is,
so
you teach people how to treat you.
I usually will say something in the beginning.
Okay.
I'll speak on it the first time, but then after that, people know what they're doing.
Right, and you do too. So when you
so
still
I remove
engage,
myself.
yes.
No, I remove
so
myself.
that's why I asked you earlier. Do you
I
think
don't
it's
address everything. I speak once. We're too old.
Yes,
I work with kids.
so
I'm not doing this with you.
So that's not necessarily avoidance then.
It depends on who the person is. Because if I know how they're going to respond, I'm not having a conversation with you.
I still don't think that's avoidance. I think sometimes that's a strategic decision.
Okay.
To remove yourself from situations.
I'm open to that. I received that.
And
I definitely
to take care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because if you've already said it and you've given the person fair warning, like, hey, I don't like this. This is what I expect. This is how I would like to move forward. This is what I need. This is what I want. And these are my non-negotiables. You've already told them what you're going to do if they keep doing it. So when you stop dealing with them, you ain't avoiding them. They shouldn't be surprised by the action you took because you already gave them the heads up.
I did.
Now what you're doing is you're actually upholding your boundaries.
Right. You see, perspective. I just thought I was avoiding people. Like,
if you've never told them before,
right? Then that's the avoiding,
right?
part.
If you've never told them before, and it's just because you're uncomfortable and you doing
or
the cancer
because I
thing,
already know how they're gonna respond.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Because what's your evidence? If you've never had the conversation,
maybe not that one, but probably challenging ones before, hard conversations before.
Gotcha.
And saw how it spiraled out of control, and it really didn't need to go there.
Right. I think that comes up a lot with relatives and family, right? Like certain
it's a
family,
people thing.
even if the conversation wasn't with you, you witnessed how they handle things.
And then there's that, or I'll see how they handle situations with other people, and I'm like, it's just gonna be my turn.
Yeah,
that's all.
So I say all of that to say that I think the capacity to know what you need and move strategically, but not avoid the conversation. So if a person were to say, hey, I haven't heard from you, would you say, well, I haven't been coming around because it's difficult to talk to you?
It depends on the person, because I did get that the other day and I was like,
So you just didn't say anything?
Delete.
You deleted the message?
I sure did. I didn't respond at all.
Okay, well, that's a text message. I'm talking about in the face.
Even if it was in the face, I'd be like, well, we're here now. How are you? I would completely avoid it. I would.
So you wouldn't even tell them why?
No.
Well, we got an area growth we just found that Miss.
I'm working on it though.
Amanda needs to say.
I am working on it.
But I recently challenged myself to push through that because I too, even as a therapist, would be like, well, how much do I value this relationship?
Right. Like,
and I think that's where how much do I value this relationship? Is this a relationship that I want to pour into that's worthy of me taking a minute, taking a moment and addressing
to waste my breath?
This? No, because it's not a waste of breath. If it bothers me,
I'll journal.
If it bothers me and it makes me uncomfortable and I feel like I need to speak on it, then it's for me.
Yeah.
It's not really for the other person.
I get that.
But if I'm speaking on it because I'm looking to get you to change your behavior and to do something different, that's where I need to manage my expectations. Yeah. Because just because you say something doesn't mean that someone's going to change their behavior.
So that's never really the goal for me. It's usually just so you know, like what you did.
Right.
You change. That's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Right.
It's nice that you did.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes people will if you let them know. And then you got to give them the space to reset.
To do it when they're ready.
Reset
right.
and like reflect and to change because it's automatic.
I get all that.
So the E, right, in this whole bet on self, right, is to engage. So as you see, I'm engaging Miss Panda, right? Miss Amanda Panda. I'm engaging her. And we're looking for our strengths because actually you got to engage your voice in all of these things, right? And it's on the screen, right? You have to engage to be able to find where your power lies in different situations. We all have power. Even when we think we're powerless, we have our power. The power of your presence, the power of whether or not you say something or not say something, your perspective, all of these things is where your power lies, even when you feel like you don't have any power. You may not be able to change the person, but you can take a step back and think about how you want to process whatever is happening to you, right? So that's that. And lastly, we're going to go to trust because what I've learned in all of this, in the power of the pivot and the resetting, is to trust yourself, to trust that you know when to reset, to trust when you need to step back, to trust your journey and your process, your growth journey, because it can get a little messy, right? I think about when you go to the gym and you're working out and you're building muscle. It's painful to build muscle.
Extremely.
It's not build that
hard.
strength. You're stretching, right? And it can feel like you're gonna crash out or you're gonna pop. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes that just means you're growing.
Yeah.
And that's it. It doesn't
Growing
mean
pains.
anything else. Right? Growing pains.
The growing pains. That's
growing
how I
pains.
justified. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, these are just the growing pains.
Just
You
the
gotta go
growing
through
pains.
this.
That's all they are. So that takes me to my favorite part of the show, right? Which is talk to me about your bet on self moments. And for you, I think it's about future.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's about looking in the past. I think it's what's next for Amanda in terms of betting on herself as you're going through this reset.
I'm working on that right now. That's the question I've been asking myself. What's next for you, girl? What you about to do, baby girl? What that look like? What's the time frame? So that's what I'm working on right now. What's next for me? And how does it look?
And that's part of the reset. It's
That
just
is
to
part of
take
the
a minute
reset.
and to
Yep.
let it flow, let it grow, as they
Mhm.
say. So everybody that's been listening to the show, once again, you guys are tuned into Conversations with Coach La La La, your favorite around the way therapist. This is the Urban Heat, Boston's only Black-owned radio station on the iHeartRadio platform. And every Sunday, we jump on the virtual couch to talk about life and all things mental health. So what's one mantra or affirmation that helps you to reset when life starts to knock you off track? Drop it in the comments, y'all. Share it. We're going to ask Amanda. But which one you got?
For me, or you asking audience?
Yeah, the audience can
for me,
put it in there, but
mine
what's
is,
yours?
For my affirmation, I am deserving of all beautiful things.
I love that.
That's mine.
One of my favorites is sometimes your biggest opportunities come disguised as bad news. And I think that has reminded me often to not take everything that I think is going not my way. Sometimes it's setting me up for my next big win, and I just don't see it yet. So that's allowed me to not crash out often, right? Crash out is real, y'all. Y'all don't understand. And the crash out is not always that you're cussing people out. The crash out can just sometimes be
you really
like,
want to take a table and flip it over,
and totally just want to avoid the world.
Right.
That's my crash out. It's like, listen, we keeping her out of jail for real. Let me find out. In her mind, she is just so ready to just. So, bet on self moments are those defining decisions where you're choosing healing, growth, or change, even when it's uncomfortable. And often that reset, that pivot, right? Those moments, are you betting on yourself? To be able to step back, take a moment, and say, hey, I'm going to pull back off of this, and I'm going to pull back off of that, or I'm going to give this person a pause. Hey, yeah, that last conversation didn't go well with me. I'm going to take a whole break from you. We're going to go on vacation for a little bit. Those are all bet on self moments. And I think we need to do more of it. And when you do it, it's not selfish. These are things that keep you from crashing out and end up in jail. So people need to respect people's bet on self moments, because sometimes they are necessary. Don't just keep pushing. Push, and push. It's just not good. So last segment, my favorite one. Well,
they're all your favorites.
I was about to say they're all my favorites.
They're all your favorites.
But Coach's Corner. It's the wrap up, right?
The wrap up.
The wrap up. It's like, okay, you know, if I was a boxing coach and you was in your corner and you came in and you're like, all right, I've been getting hit. You know what I mean? My eyes busted open on the right. Put some of that Vaseline on there. What should I do? I gotta get back in the fight, right? So, what do you want people to take away from this conversation? Because they're in the corner now. They didn't came off. They reset and they didn't push the button. What's some wisdom from Manda Panda?
While you're in that corner and you're trying to heal yourself, just remind yourself. Remember your why. That's all I really got. You just got to remember your why.
Yeah. What's the most powerful thing that you can say to yourself right now in the mirror? That mirror needs to become like your best friend. You got to be able to get up in that mirror and talk to yourself and ask yourself, you know, what are we doing and what do we want? And I think sometimes those moments of self-reflection, they go a long way. So keep in mind, right? These are these moments that you stop, pause, pivot, right? You're proving to yourself that setbacks don't disqualify you. They redefine you. That's when you know you're betting on self, and that's the bet on self way. Believe in your worth Engage in your power and trust the process. Resetting is wisdom. It is not a setback. It is actually setting you up for your next big win. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to take my own advice.
Sometimes we do have to do that. Sometimes
I think I'm
we
going to
have
take my own advice. So where can people find you? What's up for you? And I know you're full with your daycare, but when's your next yoga experience? You taking a pause from that too? And how can everybody follow you?
If you're into yoga, Yoga with Panda, WID, Yoga with Panda. Panda, like the animal panda. You can find me on all platforms, Yoga with Panda. My next event is a token flow for anyone that is partakes in cannabis. It will be yoga with cannabis, and there will be vendors there with cannabis infused things. So it'll be outside underneath tents. So that's the next event for yoga. As far as the podcast, we will still be recording weekly Wednesdays at 7:30. So you'll still find us on YouTube, Pandagasms, on all platforms, wherever you listen to your podcast at. And we'll be recording to September. Well, we got a phone call.
Yeah, who is
Do they want to talk to us?
I don't normally get phone calls, but let's see.
Let's answer.
I don't even know how to answer the phone. Hello. Oh.
Hi, my name is Seth, and I'm an up-and-coming Christian rapper, and I'm looking for a promotion. How can I submit my music to you guys for the
Oh, okay. Hold on. That's not what we wanted to do, guys.
That wasn't what we wanted.
No, that's not what we wanted, guys. All right.
You gotta love that.
Yeah, you gotta love that. I didn't hung up on the guy.
Sir,
I'm sorry.
You gotta call back, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. Call back, caller, in a second. Because I didn't just mess this all up. Okay. Guys, that's why I don't take phone calls.
Because now I don't even remember the question.
That wasn't even the right question. But anyway, so y'all make sure y'all tune in to the next episode of Conversations with Coach La. I'll be back next Sunday with another episode. Thank you, Miss Manda Panda. I appreciate you,
You're
sis.
very welcome.
Until next time, y'all have a good night, and y'all make sure y'all keep betting on self. Bye.
Bye. Have a great night.